Race number 3 is the Chengdu Handicap, and this race is over the 1200 metres. We've got Soaring Tower, who comes into the race for Good Runner. He'll carry 120 pounds. Derek Long rides for Chris So. Beauty Tycoon has the Hood and the Pacifiers going on. Success Fighter carries 4 pounds less than the third behind Victor, the winner last start. Murado Stable Change, Paul O'Sullivan to Pierre Ung. We've got One Voice on the back of 2 trials. He bled on debut and still ran second. Snow Allot's had a stable change from Paul O'Sullivan to David Hayes. And Win-Win Charity switches from the all-weather Tom onto the turf. And what does the early speed resolution on the speed map come out like?
Glory Bobo here comes out on top, Glory Bobo, and he's shown a little bit of pace. On debut he did anyway when he was beaten at 1.3. Beauty Tycoon, their Success Fighter, he was improved last start, Paul, and Miraculous Honour, he has led up at a recent trial.
He did, so he'll probably go forward from his wide draw. Glory Bobo had been running over 1,000 and getting in the front, so 1,200 he should be able to get across there as well. One Voice only had the one start, but I think he'll be 3 back on the inside, and Beauty Tycoon, as you said, won't be too far away.
Well, we can find out where Vincent Ho might actually like to be on One Voice, because this is what he told Nick.
Vincent, One Voice is a horse we haven't seen for a little while, but looked very good on his debut, was well supported. Back to the races, he'll go on Saturday.
Yeah, of course he had a little bit of issue after last race, had a long break, and come back, it felt good. The trial felt okay, slightly on the heavy side, but after that trial I think he's gonna bring him, his fitness up a lot. So yeah, I believe Mr. Law will do, make him fit for this race.
He's quite a heavy sort of horse, as you say. He's well over 1,200 pounds. Do you feel that the trial is going to sort of tighten him up, and the race will tighten him up as well?
Yeah, nice big horse, nice mover, and the trial definitely helps with a big horse like him. It's going to be, I think it's going to be very competitive with the barrier draw, and as I said, the trial will bring his fitness up a lot. So.
Have they got quite an opinion of him, the stable, Frankie? I mean, he was well fancied on his debut. Have they got quite a high opinion of this fella?
No, I didn't really speak about that, but we all know he's a nice, decent horse. He's got a nice action, so I think he can be a good horse. Yeah.
And just from where you're drawn in 3, that's obviously a perfect place to be, do you think, for a horse having his second start?
Yeah, I think so. It can be up close, or if the pace is fast, he can be middle, and as long as he travels nicely and well, he'll have a good turn of foot.
And just having a look at the form, obviously, from that debut run, Vincent, there was 3 subsequent winners behind him, so the form's certainly stacking up.
Yeah, the last run was really good. Of course, with other horses, they're all good potential horses, and also himself.
And just for you, obviously, just looking back to Wednesday night, there were 3 winners there. I guess the most special winner amongst them was that 800th winner for Francis Loy. You and him have obviously, been a team for a little while now, through one very good horse, of course, but great for Francis and great for you on Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was really good to have a double for Mr. Loy, and who have always been supported me for a long time, and gave me a lot of winners. So yeah, really happy to ride 800, the number 800 for him, definitely.
There he is, he's in good form, is Vincent Ho, and that's his thoughts on One Voice. He'll have his second start in race number 3. Success Fighter here, Tom. Now, he runs 3rd. Son Pak Fu runs in 8th place, but they've bumped into a smart one in this race.
Yeah, they have. He was 1 pace last start, Son Pak Fu, but there was a bit to like about Success Fighter, because he'd put in a much improved effort. He had trialled okay leading into this as well. He's drawn nicely here, Paul, but I thought there were, in this race, a few others in front of him.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't quite get in for me. He was a big price too, so I'd like to see him do it again. Son Pak Fu was an okay run from him. It was sort of a pass there. He sort of stayed on. He didn't lose any ground.
And finally, we've got the addition into the race in Soaring Tower, so we're going to pick up the replay from last season. This is in June. Paul Charming Steed runs 6th, but Soaring Tower does tend to run well first up.
He does. He gets back. That's his problem. So he needs a little bit of luck in running, but he has got a good finish on him, Soaring Tower. So if he can reproduce that, I mean, he has won and been placed fresh up in the past. This is the right time to catch him.
It is, and he does enjoy course and distance as well. You can see him making inroads between runners there, and he actually made a little bit of ground despite being pushed along in a recent trial. So I'd be certainly keeping him safe here, fresh.
Do we go with an old Jenny formula first up from a bleed?
Yeah, I like this horse, One Voice. He was really well backed on debut and ran really nicely when he did run second. I think he can win here. He finished behind Caution Dragon, who sort of got his own way in front. One Voice didn't have the race run to suit, but still ran a really good race. Sonpak Fu trialled really well before his last start. He's had that run now, so there is something there with this horse. I didn't want to completely drop him. Beauty Tycoon was disappointing last time, but I mean, he's been favourite his last 4 starts, so he has been pretty costly. But he has been running placings, and then Snow a Lot with the new stables, trialled well. 7-11, 2-10.
Looking for some value in this race and have decided to settle on at number 10, Snow a Lot. Now with David Hayes, Luke Curry, the blinkers come off, got checked at the 200 last start, and he was sort of once balanced up in a recent barrier trial. He did actually hit the line quite nicely, I thought, Snow a Lot. So he's on top at number 10 ahead of 7-1 Voice. Beauty Tycoon goes in, but he has been costly, would not settle in the trail at all last start to Beauty Tycoon and dropped out, and Soaring Tower makes it in as well. So 10, 7, 2 and 1.
One Voice, the on-top selection from Paul, is the early favourite at 3.7 and 1.5 for Vincent Ho and Frankie Law.